How's it going, gents? Here we are, doing a bit of storytelling. I didn't actually drop my motorcycle, I just did it for the thumbnail. I actually really rarely drop my motorcycle, my dirt bike. I've actually never dropped a road bike in my entire life. Not even in a car park on my drive or anything. That was just a thumbnail to emphasize my stupidity in this video, which I will tell you about. Strength of the mountain ox. Okay, it is a story about a night of stupidity in this very spot where I am now. I'll tell that while having a bit of an explore. Summer in Australia, so it's 8:20 p.m. and it's still nice and sunny. But so what happened was a few weeks ago now, and there was a lot of rain one night, and we had the bright idea of what's this over here? The bright idea of coming out for a four-wheel drive in our Jeeps. A couple of my mates have Jeeps. There's just ants all over that freaking blanket. The three of us have got Jeeps in my little friend group, and one of my mates just fixed his diff. So have I really just bent my I bent my freaking gear lever putting my bike on its side for a thumbnail. Great. Hope I don't have to go freaking. Luckily it's bent it a couple times. This could be stupidity right here. There we go, she's moving now. I really should get a aftermarket one. That's way too easy to bend. This is going to turn into a stupid night, I can guarantee it. Oh, what the frick? First gear. There we go. Jesus Christ. Yeah, now it's working. So we had a little bit of rain, and we thought we'll go out in our Jeeps. My mate was celebrating just fixing his diff in his TJ, and thought we'd come out and have a bit of fun in the mud. So we came here to just some local tracks, just some easy stuff. Within about 30 seconds of my mate with his new diff came out and broke the caps off his tail shaft. And we tried to play the old game of get in front of your mate and do a burnout and flicking with mud. And 2 seconds in, destroyed tail shaft, as seen in the pictures here. Who wants to see a tail shaft? Dun dun dun. Rip. Might be late to work tomorrow. That's alright. It's not my Jeep, it's the old Jeep. My Jeep's doing fine. This is pretty gnarly. Whew. And but luckily, being a Jeep, you can just rip out the tail shaft, and then you've got a front wheel drive car, so you can still drive home. So that's what he did. He jumped in my mate's four-door mall crawling Jeep Wrangler, and we continued on. We came down here to do a little bit of these little tracks up and down here, and it was super wet. Everything was slimy. We did some doughies and stuff, as you do.
Hey, which way to the airport?
And then I saw this bog hole here, and I thought, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I know the GoPro doesn't show, but it is quite a large little bog hole, about as tall as a WR250, and it was completely filled with water, so I had no idea what was inside it. It's all dry now, which is kind of the reason I came down here. I wanted to see it dry, for reasons you'll find out. And I come into it, and it's water's up to here and stuff, so it's, you know, a good foot or so deep, as you can see in the video I'll show you. There's some kangaroos over there. I try to get out and I beach myself right on the top. My Jeep doesn't have a super lift or anything, so you can see how the wheel tracks are quite low, and it beaches just the front of the Jeep. And as I reverse to try it again, there was all this wood and shit and bits of car and stuff, and I saw a number plate and I was like, oh, saw a number plate, that's a bit funny and stuff. But I came back and I tried it again, and I bashed up the front and stuff. As you can see, it's quite steep there, so I smashed up the front to try and get up it, and still couldn't get up it. I tried a bit more and I couldn't do it. I was a bit defeated. But we continued on, did some doughies and stuff, and then we went to Macca's after, about 15 minutes down the road, and we were getting Macca's, and my mate says, hey Tom, have you always not had a front number plate? And I was like, oh. I looked at my freaking front of my Jeep, there's no number plate on it, and I thought, shit, that number plate I saw in the bog hole was my number plate. When I smashed up the front, it ripped off my front number plate. So I'm like, ugh. It was already midnight at that time. It was a school night or work night, and girlfriend was like, ugh. And I looked it up and like, I can't be bothered going back. How much is a replacement number plate? Probably, you know, 30, 50 bucks or something. I looked it up, and because I've got black on white and slimline number plates, $180 for a new number plate. And I was like, frick that, we're going back to the bog hole to get my number plate. So we came back here, and this was completely full of water. Probably a good, you know, at these bits where the wheels are, you know, up to your thigh deep. It's dried up, but it was really soft and even deeper, up to here deep. And we came back, and it was really cold, and it was midnight, and I was bloody with a stick on the side. I'm wearing clothes and shit, normal clothes, because I'm forward driving. I've got a stick, trying to find a number plate with a stick. Oh, that's stupid. I'm like swishing it around with my hands, getting my hands dirty and stuff. Can't find the number plate at all. Like, I know it's in here somewhere because I saw it. I know the exact point where it came off, and I'm like swishing around my hands, and I'm like, that's not going to work. I have to get in there. And I'm like, would you, for $180, because that's legit, I'm going to have to spend $180. I have to have two number plates in Australia. For $180, do I take off my clothes and jump in this freaking bog hole full of mud at midnight to find my damn number plate? I'm like, god damn it. Took off my clothes, my underwear and shit. It's midnight, freaking wife standing there with a torch. I jump in and I spend 40 minutes like this, because it's all mud. You can't see anything in the water, just doing this, going through the softest mud. Because I knew when I tried it so many times driving in and out, I knew I'd probably push the number plate in, so I was crawling through the mud for 40 minutes because I thought, I'm already in here, I'm not gonna freaking give up, I'm already muddy. 40 minutes, and I was like, frick that. I freaking remembered. I'm like, when I drove in and out, when I was attempting it, it was actually removing a lot of the water, and it was removing a lot of the water. So I thought, oh, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just go in and out with a Jeep, and it might bring up the number plate and I might see it, or it might get all the water out so I can find it and stuff. So I was going in and out, smashing up against the wall with my Jeep, just driving in, and it was bringing the water out, and it was revealing a lot of the mud and stuff so I could see what was in it. And I'm like, oh, it's working. And I kept doing it, and the more aggressive I did it, the harder and harder and harder, the more the water kind of rushed out, and it exposed more bits of the mud so I could maybe try and find my number plate. And then I was reversing back further so I could draw the water out and stuff, and I reversed back to about here, and then I heard the rear end of my Jeep, and it sounded terrible. Had a really bad squeaking sound that it shouldn't have. And I was like, you're kidding me. And I freaking reversed out, and then I reversed out into the road to have a hear of the rear end, and it sounded terrible. It sounded like the brakes had locked up or something, and I actually noticed that my ABS sensor had turned on, and I was like, oh, something's wrong with the brakes or something. So I get on the road and try and drive, and it sounds like the wheels are gonna fall off. And I thought, nah, it's like wheel bearings or something, it's something real bad. And my other mates in the Jeep, they'd gone home like an hour ago. It's freaking like 2 a.m. at this point on a freaking work night. It's cold. I've got no tools. Doing 5Ks an hour makes the wheels sound like they're gonna just fall off. I should get back on my bike. This is boring, me walking around. My wife is just over it massively. I was over it massively, so I'm like, frick it. I just want to go home, deal with this shit later. Call the tow truck. Tow truck took like hour and a half or something. He piss farted around. It took ages to get my Jeep on there. We took it to my local mechanic so I could just walk home from my local mechanic, and got home at like 4 AM. Had to go to, and then that's the thing is, I've just dumped my Jeep in the car park of my mechanic, so I'm like, I have to get up at like 8 to tell him what's happened so I can replace the wheel bearings of my Jeep. So freaking, I get like 3 hours sleep, man. I wake up, go to the mechanic, I tell him I was being a dick. Car is just a block of mud from me trying to get in and out of these bog holes and stuff. I'm like, sorry, my car's destroyed, man. But I've done a wheel bearing or something. Can you check it out and let me know? And so later on the day, he calls me and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, Tom, your wheel bearing's fine. Woo. Your wheel bearing's fine." And I was like, "Oh, good." And I thought, finally, some good news. But then he said, "No, it's not really good news. We think your diff is completely screwed." And I was like, "You freaking kidding me?" I'm like, "That's a Dana 44 Jeep Wrangler diff. How did I destroy that? By just going through some mud." I got to ride through the bog hole of hell. So he said my diff's screwed, and I'm like, I can't believe that happened. I was just going through mud. I've done plenty worse than that before. But freaking hell, I'm like, what have I got to do then, mate? Because I don't know that much about freaking cars and shit. I'm not a freaking mechanic or anything. I'm like, and this is just before Christmas, and I was going to go on a forward driving trip. So I'm just like, mate, let's just, I don't care, man, get it fixed. Christmas is coming, it's going to get busy and shit. Let's just do it. And he's like, we can't do a diff here. We're just a, you know, shitty local mechanic. Got to take it to a forward drive shop. Like, bloody hell. So I freaking call up ARB, which is like, you know, proper forward drive shop in Australia. I'm like, ARB, a freaking diff screwed. I'm like, really? On a Jeep Wrangler, like, just going through mud and stuff? I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. Need new diff or some shit. Take it to them. They call me up the next day, or that day or something, and they're like, your diff's fine, man. Like, you've got this shit in your brakes. You've got like wooden stuff in your brakes. Like, that you could probably see there's wooden stuff in here. Like that. I had like that and shit in my brakes. And I'm like, in the back of my head, I knew it was my brakes, because like, it sounded like brakes. The ABS light came on, and I'm like, I surely couldn't have been a diff. And they're like, we've cleaned your brakes, it's fine. And I'm like, have you taken my diff apart, haven't you? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, frick it. Put an ARB air locker in it, so I can, I've always wanted diff lockers and shit, so I've already got my rear diff apart, just chuck an air locker in it while you're there. And while you're there, just put a bloody freaking bull bar on it, $2,000 bull bar. And then I bought a winch, and I bought a freaking spotlights for it, and it turned into a very expensive day. It was meant to be just, let's go out. So at first, when my mate did his tail shaft on his Jeep, I was like, oh, that's unlucky. You know, go out in 5 minutes, you break your tail shaft. That's, you know, that's gonna be a couple $100 there. That sucks. I lost my number plate. I thought that was pretty bad. $200 are a stupid thing about losing a number plate. Then I wrecked my Jeep, or thought I wrecked my Jeep. I had to pay $200 to sign up for, you know, the equivalent of AAA in Australia, the RACV. $200 to get a towing service, so I can get like 10 tows a year or whatever, because I'm sure I'll need it soon. Like, this is the first time I've ever needed a tow truck for my Jeep, so in like a year of hardcore off-roading. This video is way too long, I'm sorry, but this is just such a stupid night. So $200 a tow truck, $200 for a number plate, and then I spent like $3,500 at ARB. It turned into a very expensive night, but you know, my Jeep is awesome now. It's got a freaking bull bar, a winch, it's got huge spotlights, 9-inch giant spotlights on the front, and now an ARB air locking diff in the rear. He also said I have no freaking brake pads in the rear, because I like to do like stupid little standstill burnouts, and I don't have a line locker kit obviously, because it's a freaking Jeep, not a drag car. So I had no rear brake pads. So my Jeep got work that I wanted to do to it anyway. Like, I did want to get a bull bar eventually and stuff, so it was alright in the end. But still, it was a very stupid night. It's funny how little four-wheel drive trips, basically any off-road adventure, can just eventuate out of nowhere. And that's why I love just doing dumb shit, like just going out on a school night and just going into the forest and getting stuck and stuff. My wife doesn't like it so much. I love it. I think it's funny doing dumb shit. This stupid bog hole ended up costing me like $4,000. Look how easy my freaking bike does it. Jesus, a piece of cake. Do it sitting down. But it was a good funny night. If you're wondering what bike I'm on, this is a 2014 WR250R, the single greatest trail bike, adventure bike, dirt bike, everything bike in the world. I will be doing the 2018 WR250R rally in New South Wales this year in April. If you're coming along, I'll be there with two of the other mates who've got WR250s, because everyone's buying them because they're so damn good. Everyone's selling their 690s, selling their freaking XR250s, and buying the best, the WR250R. Anyway, peace out, gents, as the sun's setting. Goodbye.
Gusto!